Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Monsieur. I thought I come and wish you a good day on this Monday, since I'm not called to stop those videos. For it's my guidance has been I'm being overwhelmed with information, but there is still like gaps and things, and so it's very complex and difficult. I wanted to bring to talk about a few subjects. I'm going to pull a few cards. I want to say that in order to find what we're looking for in terms of salvation, we need to accept the uncomfortable, to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, to trust God in the point where it's okay to be uncomfortable. And so for God, in many sense, doesn't care, but it feels all thing. It is part of this universal expansion, and for to have any one of its cells or any one of his beings to be uncomfortable, he knows that it's just a temporary thing. It's just for us being encapsulated in this physical form makes it difficult. For the uncomfort comes because we're trying to control a certain situation and we are unable to, so we become uncomfortable. So it's about letting go of the control, accepting the uncomfort, and trusting the flow of life that will take us out of this. But it's just a matter of being able to stay within that flow long enough to be on the other side. We're getting closer to the flashpoint. Maybe there's small flashpoints. It's opening in our mind, opening in our consciousness, or there may be just a big flashpoints that take us into the higher realm. So it's all happening depending on what we are able to integrate, able to receive at any given point. It has been announced that the Christ is incarnated in a physical form. My master guide told me the Christ will not be coming back in the same way he came before, but if he chose to reincarnate for 2,000 years ago, he said he would return, and now he said he is here, and so we are eager to see how he will announce himself to the world and how it is going to take control over this whole planet and restore the planet into this. So how will he do that? We are all here in support of that plan, not a matter of being a Catholic or a Christian. It's just we want to be in service of the highest good of all, the service of the unconditional love of source. We want to be in service of the total forgiveness, so we can be free from all karma. So we are eager to see how the Christ will manifest in the next few months. They said it will manifest into the world, and so we are eager to see that. Understanding everything is created perfect. We are all created as divine perfect beings. It's just in the time because we accepted the separation of our consciousness. We forgot that, and we created subconsciously a world that appears to be less than perfect. So now it is about reconnecting to that sphere so that we can return. We accept the fact that everything is perfect. Like Spinoza says, everything is infinitely perfect. Nothing can be more than what it is now. Then from here and now, there is always something to do to improve whatever situation there is now, but there has to be an acceptance of all that is now. We have to be honoring of our spirit and being gratitude to God for the experience that we are having. There is no more need to comply to all beliefs, all societal beliefs, all tribal beliefs, all the religious beliefs. It's all about being sincere, about finding a way to honor God, to worship God in your own way, which is true to yourself, to sign on self, be true, and to be as relaxed as possible, to be as calm as possible, so that we can be in the now. In order to be allowing ourselves to be outside of thoughts, because our thoughts, our mental process is really taking us outside of the now. It's always talking about the future or the past, and it's about so it's thoughts. Our mental body will continue to evolve and grow, but in order to find the ascension, we need to remove ourselves from that, to move into a state of samadhi, to elevate ourselves beyond the realm of thoughts. And then we'll come back with more with a higher level of mental body. For there is the infinite spirit, the infinite mind of God has only one limitation. There can be only one infinite spirit, but outside of that, the mind of God that's created it all is infinite. And so eventually we want to merge into this higher mind, to allow the higher mind to guide our life. But for that, we need to move outside of our thoughts, return to the silence of our mind, to make peace within ourselves, and this is where we'll find the ability to celebrate each moment. I'm going to pull a few cards. It's really hard to break old habits. It's really hard because we want to be transformed, but we do not want to change, and so it is really a challenge. So I hope you are able to change. For all the masters will always tell us that everything lies within the acceptance of change. The highest wisdom for us today is the farm. It's about the ability to nourish ourselves and to nourish others, to find that everything grows. What we need to understand is the scribe or the writer. therefore it's very important to take notes, to write down all those things that goes through the dreams, to take notes, and then maybe one day they'll be organized in order to in a way that will serve humanity, or even just for yourself. I'm taking always a lot of notes, and I wrote a book that I hope to be published and translated in English. It's about the interdimension, the multi-dimensional nature, the eternal nature of the soul, and how to reprogram ourselves and spiritual tools to travel in the universe without having to create machines. What we need to do is the angels. We need to connect to those angelic frequency, to trust the angel, to allow the angels to guide us. And the outcome is the imprisonment or slavery. For the doors are open, but we've been so comfortable within our cage that we are afraid to leave it. And so it is important to allow this freedom to step outside of whatever comfort zone, that we accept the uncomfort of being, because somebody who's always been in the dark of this cell, moving into the sunlight is like coming out of the cavern of Plato. Plato is like we've been in the dark watching the shadows for such a long time, so it's like when a person has been thrown out into the sun for many days, it's become blind. The light of the sun, it's too much, and then eventually he can see at night the reflection of himself in the pond, and starts to see the sky, until the day we'll be able to see the sun in the sky, which is the soul. And so we need to be free from this slavery, and so it's about asserting our freedom, to claim our freedom. And for that, the outcome will be, once we do that, it will be biblical. It will be the reconnection to the history of histories. We're going to be reconnecting to the Creator, the return of the Age of Light. It is the fifth dimension, and we have our role to play in this history. And so we need to be in the full state of awakening and empowerment. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm receiving a very strange guidance. Yesterday I was painting last night, and at the time I was starting to paint, it's like my spirit, a voice came into my head that I'm wasting time. So it's like I stopped painting. It's like the first time in my life Spirit says that painting is like a waste of time. Since I'm not really in a comfortable situation, I want to come out of that situation. I do not want to waste time. So I might transgress and continue to paint, but it's very, very strange for me to have to let go. I mean, I understand what Spirit is said, to let go of tobacco, of alcohol, of coffee, of sugar, of bread, or all those things for my physical cleanliness, but to stop painting is like, for me it's always been a way of salvation. So I may have to stop painting the time I'm in this time of transition, so which is I'll find I guess I can find other things to do, but to do more meditation, maybe. I'm not really sure. Maybe they were talking about something else, and it's just a matter of like, at the time where I was going to paint, I'm wasting time. So it's like, whoa, okay. So it was really hard. It's something I had to really integrate. It's really difficult for me. The idea of having to stop to create work, to create art, is delicate. And I also wanted to speak about the painting behind me. First is a self-portrait. It's an astrological self-portrait. It's the number 2 of the series. It shows that we all have like all kinds of planets in all the constellations, although some constellations are much strongly represented in our chart. So it's just a matter of discovering and connecting to those. So it's here the Earth has this crown around her. And instead I should have put my face here, but I put the Earth. I thought it was less egocentrical. And yeah, I have my Sun in Pisces, the Ascendant in Pisces, I have Mercury in Pisces, I have Mars in Pisces, I have Pandora, Urania, Orphea, Chiron, Ibris, Cassandra, Metis, and I have a few more, that because every time I'm doing one of those self-portraits, it's like I'm adding new planets into each constellation. Soon if I'm allowed to return to paintings and I have one day a studio, I will be able to do bigger paintings, and I will include even more of those planets. For it's a personal research, and note that it helps me astrology helps us to understand ourselves, the filters of our conditioning. I wanted to pay tribute to a race of beings that we know, and yet we do not know them, is the feline, the Pashet. They call the Pashet. They are galactic beings. They're royal lineage. And they come originally from Andromeda and the Lyra constellation, and then now they're in Sirius. They are the dominant force of Sirius, the human lion of Sirius, and they are represented on this planet as by all the great felines of the jungle as well, but also in the little cats. For little cats are not They are great beings of light that accepted the humble form of incarnating in this humble form in order to assist humanity in the ascension. They are extremely important in the ascension process, for they are tuned into the antimatter universe, and they are very, very helpful in a conscious way. And so take care of your cats. Some people do not like cats. Well, sorry about that, but they're very, very powerful, and they're very instrumental and assistants in the whole human evolutions and of the species. They were actually left behind before the end of Atlantis. The feline master and the dolphin master created the geneticists. They created those dogs and cats in order to keep companionship to men, because they knew it was going to be a long journey and we're going to be very lonely. So they created those really nice little creatures to keep us company. But the dogs are very extroverted when the cats are more introverted, and they're very different function. And so they are guardians and they're antennas to higher realm, higher universe. My cat is like, there is different kinds of cats. There is a galactic cat. I had one of those. It was a black cat named Inanna. She was always like in a higher planes. It was like completely different kind of cat. And there are some cats that are very dark also, but very few. And then but there's just average cat. My cat is just an average cat, but she likes to play all the time. She's very playful, and whenever I have some pocket of water with a brush, if I don't watch, she's gonna throw it out just to so you see the water dripping on the floor. And it's like I was really annoyed for a very long time, but I imagine if I was a cat, maybe I would enjoy to see that, to do that, to see what happens when the water. So I'm not really. I'm just being careful not to leave it behind like this, because I know she can't resist doing that. It's like something that's beyond her. And so I also wanted to thank Martha Sekhmet. She's one of the leading intelligence, leading spiritual intelligence. She's a great divine being. She works from the planet Nibiru right now. We can call her. We say thank you, Mother Sekhmet, to assist us when we have something we need to liberate within ourselves. She will come and she will take our lion power and remove that things from ourselves. So it's like you can see it, visualize it. And it's like removed, and says thank you, Mother Sekhmet. And so she's like this lion being. She was a goddess from the Egyptian pantheon. But all the Egyptian gods were actually coming from all over the galaxies. They were different model archetypes of consciousness, and then they took on a hybrid form for the most part, except for Maat, the goddess Maat that came to us. So this morning, actually, this the Lord of Time, master of the timelines. She's like a seated person, but she doesn't have this hybrid form mixed with animal and humans. But most of them have chosen those avatar body to represent certain things, and some of them come from their own lineage, such as Mother Sekhmet. So we thank her. We thank all those great beings of light that are on the invisible realm for assisting us in our evolution process. We want to anchor all those energies so that eventually the veil will fall, and we'll be able to remove all those veils, and we'll be able to rejoin all those communities. For most humans are not willing or able. They would be terrified if they would some beings. Half animal beings would appear before them, those great those archetypes. But as you move, as their comfort zone grows, for the Pleiades will be the ones that make the first contact, because they are completely humanoid. They look like us, but they are higher beings that have all kinds of different aspects. And the more we are open, and the aspect is not always reflective of what they are inside. There may be some beings that may be very beautiful, that are very deceptive, and there are some beings that may be a bit scary on the outside, that are great, full of love and wisdom. So it's always in the eye and the vibration. We get to read vibration and to ask God and Spirit to only connect us to those who have a highest wisdom for us to share, and that are in the love and light of the Source and Creator. So we can communicate only with our higher guides and Spirit, and not allow ourselves to be distracted by all the lower aspect of the astral beings that could still create confusion within this realm. Well, I hope this message was meaningful for you. I'm going to finish with a song. It's an invitation to travel. It's not from Charles Baudelaire, but from John Denver. It's an old song. It goes like this. All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. But the dawn is breaking, it's early morning, the taxi's waiting, he's blowing his horn. I'm already so lonesome I could cry. So kiss me and smile for me, tell me that you'll wait for me, hold me like you never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane, I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down, so many times I've played around. I tell you now they don't mean a thing. Every place I go I'll think of you, every song I sing I'll sing for you. When I come back I'll bring your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me, tell me that you'll wait for me, hold me like you never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane, I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you, one more time let me kiss you, then close your eyes and I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come, when I won't have to live alone, about the times when I won't have to say, kiss me and smile for me, tell me that you'll wait for me, hold me like you never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane, I don't know when I'll be back again. I'm leaving on a jet plane, I don't know when I'll be back again. I'm leaving on a jet plane, I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. Well, thank you very much for sticking till the end. I'm going to pull. Did I pull a card already? No, I'm going to pull a last card. It's the page of Michael, honest, perspicacious, critical, brusque. So we want to not allow emotion to overwhelm us. It's this page of Michael. It's also about being free from jealousy, free from. It's about this unconditional love. It says a new challenge awaits you. You have everything to succeed. Study all contracts or documents. So he's playing with the wind, and so it's a time for meditation, for breathing, to let go of thoughts for a little bit, and so that we can be prepared for what is to come. For there is a great deal of change and newness that is coming in this week. So I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful Easter weekend, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.